That's always a beautiful thing.
Yes.
All right, we're going to lock them in 2 minutes.
Oh.
Orlando,
Yes.
I enjoyed listening to you guys last Friday.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. I really do. We were really trying to focus on just speaking from the heart, you know, and
I
giving
really
truth.
liked the part after it was over.
Oh,
That was,
yeah. Hey, y'all, do me a favor really quick. Could you guys go over to my Ascend Beyond page and make sure you're sharing the stream from my Ascend Beyond page? I have it up right now. I know we have a few minutes before we get started.
Y'all ready?
Hang on. Hang on a second.
Welcome to the Enlightenment Podcast. We got 3 beautiful guests today. We're going to be talking about creation. We're going to be talking about immortality. We're going to be talking about time and the Medu-neter. Now, we got 3 beautiful guests. PTAH SEEKER ASAR. We got Ascend Beyond Orlando Johnson, and we have Antoinette. How y'all doing today?
great.
All right.
Wow.
be here.
That's good. Now we're going to get into the creation story, and we're going to get into immortality and the Medu-neter, and we're going to break it down and how is it relevant for today. Now, Mr. PTAH, he's going to start us off and talk about time. Now, Mr. PTAH, what's the difference between the time today and the time that you say that we have to go by?
Okay, so first of all, before we even begin, let me lay a strong foundation in my art.
Let's go for it.
Right? Because our people right now, our family is lost, stolen, and denied. We're like walking dead. We have no spirituality. We're mentally dead. We're physically dead because of the food we're eating. We're mentally dead because we don't know where we are in time and space as our planet moves around the sun and moves around the phenomenal possession. So let me gravitate us first to our present and exact moment in time and space with an affirmation and prayer, a hesed to our great divine Medu-neter, us, who is going to give you your first day through the path of initiation. And it goes as follows. Dua'u, As, Mut, Natru, Pandabu, the mother of the gods, the mistress of Pet, the maker of mankind, she who is mighty in words of power, the mother of all initiations. Bless us humble servants for Ankh life now present, for we seek the counsel of the ancient ones and practice daily the ancient Martin ways and ancient Martin truths. We strive evermore to become one with thee in this world and in the existence to come. We ask that you bless us on this, the 166th day of the year after the heliacal rising, 194 days remaining until Ubin Suptit, Suptit Cyrus rising, Wet Ren Pet Dejid Heb, New Year's celebration, the 22nd day of the 5th month of Heru, the 3rd day of Ast, the 16th day of the 2nd month of the 2nd season of Aket, year number 6, AFNK/ST, after the founding of New Kemet, Naga Kemet, Samad Tawi, phenomenon of precession, new age order of the great golden age of Ma'at. We ask that you bless our families and friends and all those of us who gather together to worship in your most holy, sacred, and glorious ancient Tamarian name of As-Mut Wat Natru Panebu. For in the act of seeking you, there is much comfort. Ankuja Seneb, Pa Nata Apupa Ma'at.
Okay, now you call that a prayer or affirmation?
That is an affirmation or a hesi. And the hesis is how you identify with the cosmic forces that allow you love, guidance, and protection through the daily experiences of ponderable matter. So these netarus, you identify them first by pronouncing your name as a word of power and acknowledging and comprehending and acknowledging where the star Suptit is. So you must, to be a Shamsu Hor, to achieve immortality, to acquire the ability to experience the phenomena of being, because what we're here for. We're Nagas. We want
you pronounce your name as a word of power. Your name, right?
You pronounce what you pronouncing is called Medu-neter Nefer. Medu means words, Usa means power, and Nefer means divine. So you're pronouncing divine words of power. But to say it phonetically, with the phonetic picture value, which would be this ka with the H in the middle, if you ever see that, the H symbol, the twisted flax with the ka in the middle, that means Heka. Heka is saying, you're saying Medu-usu Heka, Medu-usa Nefer, by just saying Heka. It means words of power. It means, it's like conjuring magic. You're calling upon the cosmic forces, and when you speak the Medu-neter or the Medu-neter, it is a word, and the word creates a sound, and the sound creates the vibration. The vibration creates a wave. The wave begins motion, and this is like the expanding universe. So we're relating this scientific. We're going to apply this scientifically, religiously, and mathematically with astronomy. And we're going to lay a foundation in Ma'at at all times through this conversation.
We're going to get into that because we got to talk about words and symbols and how the metaphor came into form. We're going to get into all that, but you're going to get started with your presentation.
Okay, so first we have to learn what was lost. First thing they took from us, because we ruled this planet for 5 million years. It was a global Naga present. Naga means the immortal ones. Naga means the divine ones. He or she who brings immortality to the world. This is what we did, okay? We had a global Naga presence for over 5 million years. We lost control of this planet 3,000 years ago using a chronological timeline, which we use today, the Gregorian timeline. You go 2,000 years back to 0, which is AD, Ani Domini, and then you go 1,000 years backwards to 1000 BC is when we lost control. And that's when the Kush kings, the Spalta, Pianki, Tahaka, and Shabaka, the 25th dynasty, Nubian dynasty of the Kush kings, is when we lost control, after they were lost to Samad Tawi, the rule of Upper and Lower Tamari. Now, it is at this point that for you scholars to follow and do your due diligence, you understand what they came and got, what they understood how to steal from us first was our spirituality. And our spirituality was based upon knowing how to tell time. Because scientifically, we were very scientific people. We knew that sun, light is the movement, time is the movement of the light. Two is the echo.
Thank
You got an echo. Somebody got to mute their mic. Is it me?
All my mics on my end are muted.
Is it me?
Ken, I think
Okay.
that's you. Also,
Time.
real quick, I'm sorry to cut you off, my brother.
Sure.
Ken, we have a listener saying that they can't hear your sound, Ken.
Right, I don't understand what's going on.
Oh, and first of all, I'd like to give praises to our Sibat, our Medu-neter, our Queen Mother Goddess, who is present on the show today. We have the feminine present that is here, and that's why I gave the first Hesse was towards our Medu-neter, so that the Queen Mother Goddesses and our African women are present, and their forces are felt, because this is a new age order of masculine and feminine. The matriarch and the patriarch has to be present, and for Ma'at to be present during this new age order, great golden age of Ma'at Asar. So praises to our Queen Mother Antoinette, who is present upon the hosted inside the queue here. I'd like to give praise to our Queen Mother, let you know there is a female presence here. This is not a masculine show. We have the feminine balance here. Ma'at is present.
Thank
Now,
you. Thank
Wow, Dua, Queen Mother Goddess, Sibat, Medu-neter, Hemet. So to understand, we have to go back to time. When we're dealing with time, we're dealing with the light, which is the sun, which is the hydrogen atom. But to break it down scientifically through temple disciplines, we're going to apply temple discipline through all this conversation. So each one of your questions, scientifically, religiously, and mathematically, is balanced.
We have no sound, so I don't know what's going on.
No sound at all.
All of a sudden.
I'm getting sound on my end. They're just not hearing it on Ken's end.
Okay, so are we still being broadcast? Are we cool?
Yeah, we're still live.
Because you know Uncle Seth don't want this broadcast to go out. You already know that.
Yeah.
So we can go in, man. I got to lay a foundation for you first. I got to teach you how to tell time. Because right now, we are under Gregorian time. We're under the... Are we on?
What you thought? For some reason, my sound, it wasn't playing.
Okay,
Also, you guys-
Kenchu. We might have to revoke your license here.
Also, if you guys, if you're watching live on my end, also the panelists, you guys can head over to Ascend Beyond as well, just in case we have some difficulties on Enlightenment's page, and share it from there, and then share it over on Enlightenment's page, so we won't miss any action.
Yes, and please continue in the chat room to let us know if you don't have the vocal or the audio. Yes, please. So time
Hold on.
is the movement.
Go ahead. Okay. I have to start all the way over on my end.
I never been on a show with dead air time before. This is like a new experience here. You sure we did all the way around where we can speak like, oh.
Spiking on your end.
That sounds like the cosmic serpent of Pepe.
If you guys are watching live right now, we do apologize. We're having some slight technical difficulties with the sound. Just give us a few moments and we're going to get that worked out. Hang tight.
Okay, maybe I approached this the wrong way. Maybe I got to change the frequency of the conversation, and we got to come in and hit them hard and hit them heavy now.
We
Things
gotta hit
happen
'em.
for a reason. The goddesses work in mysterious ways. So we're dealing with time. We have to understand the first thing they stole from us was time. The reason why we're injured humanity, which means you're a mental, physical, and spiritual subjugated slave, is because of time. And during the time of 1000 BC is when they took us to court. And they took us to court. And they made an edict, a decree in equity called execution of judgment. Execution of judgment means they took us to, we wasn't even present. And they proclaimed that there will never be another global Naga rule upon the planet. And then they initiated execution of sentence. The verdict was death. The verdict was injured humanity. It's called injured humanity for you scholars who want to Google it. Injured humanity was what we were sentenced for. Am I okay?
We're gonna be.
Right. Okay.
As of right now, we're still live.
We're still live, but no audio. Did we get the Hesse in there? Did we get the affirmation?
No sound. There was no sound for some reason. They told me on the live feed there was no sound.
You want me to do sign language?
You know you can, brother.
It's cool. There was just a miscommunication. We're just gonna start the whole thing over. They understand?
Yes.
I already paused it on the recording, so.
Yes, good. Oh, you did. You paused it. Good. Okay.
Whenever we get ready to kick back off again, we still have some. We still have some that are.
How many are in the queue? How many in the chat room? How many are in the chat room?
I have 2 right now in my chat.
Okay.
And I have somebody just inbox me, so we'll see. Once we get it going, we got to get more shares. Once you get more shares, we'll get them in.
Well, let's take our time. Take our time. I ain't going nowhere, so let's just get the audio, and technical, video, and everything working together.
This is our first time doing this system, so it happens. It's okay.
Yes, it's okay. It's okay. It's not irreversible.
So if you check out the what I have up right now for you, Brother Patai, is I actually have your cosmic egg, aka the primeval.
Oh, I don't see nothing. I don't see that on my side.
You won't see it here. Give me a second.
Okay, well you have to let me know what you're flashing on the PowerPoint so that I can direct the discussion towards. Oh, I see it there now.
Okay, so what I have right now is let me transition for you.
Okay. There you go. There you go.
So right now I have up your
right. So when I'm
going through your presentation.
So when you start flashing PowerPoint, you got to flash back and let me see what you're doing so that I can direct the conversation towards that and keep everything flowing towards in harmony. Okay.
Okay.
Fantastic. Do you have any other pictures besides the Cosmic Egg, the book?
I have the newsletter, I have the Cosmic Egg, and I have
you got a picture of the pyramid with the star shaft coming, showing Orion's belt, and I sent all the pictures of the Kensu. I wish I knew. I could have sent some more to you. We could have both, like I see you both were working together. I could have sent them both to both of you. This way, y'all could have manipulated and corresponded it or whatever y'all do. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, as long as the audience has an opportunity to to at least get the message.
Yes.
And I'll flash up some of your presentations from time to time just so they can kind of get an ideology of where you're going and what you're talking about. Also, so they can see something to research. Some tangible, something to look at.
Absolutely, that's what we want, for them to have something to research, right?
Absolutely. Again, you guys, if you're watching live, make sure you guys are sharing this. Please, we need to get this message out. It's going to be very informative for people of all cultures. We want to make sure that everybody gets the information and everyone is helped in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and challenged. Good challenge is necessary from time to time. A good balance.
Yes.
All right, Kishu, we still say there's no sound on Enlightenment. I just got a...
What about on your thing? What about on your station?
I'm good to go on my end.
Okay.
So whenever...
Can you record and put it up later?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm recording on Zoom, so it's all good. Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm not worried about it. It's the first rodeo.
Yeah, this is the first time, you guys. Literally, we just got this new software, so we've been kind of testing it all week long, going back and forth and trying to figure out a better solution. But we're gonna work it out. Good things come to those. Wait.
Water seeks its own level. Exactly. Absolutely. Yes.
Did you
Queen
say
Mother.
that our spirituality was based in time?
No, I'm saying our spirituality was based upon the concept of self-creation.
Okay.
Self-creation means that it's predicated upon ma'at and universal ma'at, which means that to have a comprehension of self-creation would mean that you would acquire the ability to experience the phenomenon of being. So people say I'm conscious. You cannot be conscious. Consciousness is the awareness of being. Life is the awareness and consciousness of being. Being is predicated upon self-creation. So all of our ancient texts in the Medu-neter text that was translated and was lost, stolen, and denied and discarded, it comes down to
All right, here we go, y'all.
self-creation.
All right.
Yes.
Yes. Am I supposed to speak? Or are we still waiting for you to initiate an introduction?
All right, we're back, y'all. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Enlightenment Podcast. We had some technical difficulties, but we have three great speakers with us today. We have PTAH SEEKER ASAR, we have Orlando Asymbion Johnson, and we have Antoinette Love. Now, PTAH SEEKER ASAR, I would like for you to go over the affirmation one more time, now that we have everything together.
Divine, not fair, Uncle Johnson. I'd like to thank you for inviting me to your show, to the Enlightenment Broadcast, Enlightenment for Today. This is a beautiful platform that you and Brother Ascend has, and it's fantastic. I want to say du'a, and greetings to our great Medu-neter, Queen Mother Goddess as President Antoinette, and that blessings to have you here, and I'm glad to be in your presence so that feminine and masculine energy is being balanced, so that my art is present.
Okay, but once again, I apologize to everybody that's viewing on Facebook. We had some technical difficulties. This is our very first time going live on the panel, but after this time, everything is going to be all good. Now, for Todd, I would love for you to do the affirmation so that everyone can understand how this works. Exactly.
So, to balance us in my art, and to bring and to help us to manifest ourselves within the concept of self-creation and acquiring the ability to experience the phenomenon of being. First, we have to address the cosmic forces that allow us love, guidance, and protection through the daily experiences of ponderable matter, meaning that we have to address not only the nectars of nature, we must address the ancestors before us. And some of us would say, I asked the ancestors for permission to speak. This is not how it works. For Shemsu Hor, which I am a Shemsu Hor, born from the great line of kings, primordial temple discipline predicates and dictates that I must utter the Usa Medu-neter, the Heka'u, words of power, which are my rite of passage. Your birthright, your divine birthright is immortality. We're here to receive immortality. Okay, but to receive immortality, you first have to perform the ritual of your rite of passage. Your rite of passage means that as a Naga Shemsueru Nesubiti, you must know where the star Saptat is at all times, when you wake up and when you go to sleep. You must know where you're located on the galactic plane of our quadrant and Milky Way galaxy. So we're going to perform the Hesi through the Mother Goddess Ast, who is the mother of initiation, so that I can give you your first day. Millions of us have lived and never had a first day. Millions of us might not have a first day.
We're going to talk about that first day.
That first day, right. But to balance us in Ma'at, I'm going to perform an affirmation that will give us an exact comprehension and understanding of where you are now in time and space, so that you're no longer brain dead and spiritually dead and physically dead. We're going to go to the diet and live it, but here we go. Dua'u, Mupatnataru, Panebu, the mother of the gods, the mistress of Pet, the maker of mankind, she who is mighty in words of power, Bless us humble servants for Ankh, life now present, for we seek the counsel of the ancient ones and practice daily the ancient Ma'atian ways and ancient Ma'atian truths. We strive evermore to become one with thee in this world and in the existence to come. We ask that you bless us on this, the 166th day of the year after the Heliotrope rising, 194 days remaining until Ubin Saptit Cyrus rising, Wet Red Pet Dejit Heb, New Year's celebration, the 22nd day of the 5th month of Heteru, the 3rd day of Ast, the 16th day of the 2nd month of the 2nd season of Aket, year number 6, AFNK/ST, after the founding of New Kemet, Naga Kemet, Samad Kawi, phenomenon of precession, New Age order, the great golden age of Ma'at. We ask that you bless our families and friends and all those of us who gather together to worship in your most holy, sacred, and glorious ancient Tamarian name of Ast Ermuk Wat Nataru Pa Nebu. For in the act of seeking you, there is much comfort. Pa Nata Apupa Ma'at. Ankh Buja Senef. That's what we call cosmic Naga swagger. We're here to get our Naga swagger back on. We're here to regain our divine immortality.
Let's get it. Everybody need their swagger back. So let's
gotta get this swagger, the cosmic swagger, not just that swagger you go out on the nightclub with. This is cosmic. We're gonna go cosmic. This is the new age order star gospel. It's called the cosmic revelation. We gotta go cosmic. Your brain has to go cosmic. In order to go cosmic, we're going to identify first terrestrially to the Neterus. Then we're going to identify with the sun, which is atomic energy. We're going to connect with the black hole, which is dark radiation. Then we're going to expand with the universe, immortality. But now we're going to recognize where that universe, where that black hole is expanding from. We're going to go into the atomic energy, into subatomic, into the inner verse where the egg is. Then we're going to explain where the egg came from out of the primary ocean with the Zeptepi, the creation and order and origins of existence, the development of the universe. And that's what we're going to go through. Okay? Now, to understand time, is there any question before we go into time?
We need to get the time, man, because I heard you say a lot of things whenever you're doing your affirmation about the times and the different calendar and stuff. So people need to know about this time thing so everybody can be straight and be on the right time.
Exactly.
It's 7:26 Central Time. Where we at? You said that's the wrong time.
It's got to be yes, it's the wrong time. Yes, it is.
January 6, 2017, according to the Gregorian calendar.
Wrong time.
Wrong time. We need to understand what time is.
They call that nigger time.
Okay.
We're Nagas. Nagas are the immortal ones. The Nagas are the ones who bring immortality. He who manifests enlightenment to the world. They took us from being Nagas, and they plagiarized our knowledge, corrupted our information, and regurgitated and fed it back to us in an unholy manner. Then they altered the etymology and the linguists, and they changed the vowels, so we went from Nagas to a nigger. So if a Naga means immortal one, then a nigger means it's like a derelict, the slime of the earth. As a matter of fact, he never existed. There's no such word.
Hold on now, because you said we went from nigger to Naga.
No.
Okay.
They're going from nigger to Naga.
Okay, so the people that you're referring to as nigger is black people. There's more people on this time. You got Asians, you got Europeans, you have other cultures that's on this time, so it's not just us.
Okay, exactly. But what you have to understand is they all conspired against us because we brought civilization and culture and knowledge to the whole planet.
But they all come from us, though.
They all came from us, exactly. But so what we have to do is understand when we do due diligence, we got to put the pieces together. You got to follow the dots. The only dot you got to follow is IA, artificial intelligence, which is Google. And that's already corrupted. So I'm going to help you do your due diligence and lead you down the road to how to find out how to connect the pieces of how we lost our divinity.
Right, but everybody, all colors, all cultures need to know this.
Absolutely, this is universal. We are located on the galactic elliptic plane of our quadrant of the Milky Way galaxy, meaning that if you look down if you're in space, you look down to a NASA picture at a black hole or a galaxy from an aerial view, you'll see it churning like a hurricane. But if you visualize it from side view, it's nothing but a line with a glow at the top and a glow at the bottom. That's the black hole glowing. Our Milky Way is dormant. This line is called the galactic elliptic plane. And this is where we're moving 15 degrees up. We hit the line, go down 15 degrees. This is how we move through the phenomenon of precession of the 26,000 years. Okay? Now, what we have to understand is there's 4 dimensions of time. We're going to go through the 4 dimensions of time to understand where we're at from the cosmic level first. All right? First dimension of time is the Zep Tepi. Zep Tepi means first time or before time. This involves the origins of existence and the creation and development of the universe. We're going to get to that. Next one is great year time. It takes 26,000 years for our sun to go through each and every sign of the zodiac. That's the phenomenon of precession. We know this because the earth wobbles. The earth spins, earth rotates, and the earth revolves, right? And then as this revolves, it wobbles on its axis. One wobble is 26,000 years. This is the phenomenon of precession, which we're going to go through, and we're going to measure through the star panels or the star shafts inside the Great Pyramid. We're going to go through that and identify that mathematically, scientifically, and spiritually. But now, the next dimension of time is great age time, because it's 26,000 years in one great year, and it's broken down into 12 signs. Each sign is 2,130-something years, and it comes out 2 times 12 is 24. And 1 is 25, and so many years comes out to 26,000 years. Now, we come down to the next dimension of time is yearly time. Yearly time is the earth that revolves around the sun 360 days under 24 hours and 35 minutes solar signal calendar. And we have the lunar cycle calendar, which is the Houthi calendar is added, and that's under 24 hours a day, and it's 365 days in a year. Then we have daily time. Daily time is the earth spinning, which is 24 hours or 24 hours and 35 minutes. So this is how they corrupted time.
Okay.
Now we're here on the earth. You have an idea of the cosmic environment. Let's just deal here first and what happened and how we lost it. They took time from us, and how you can put the pieces together as a scholar who must do due diligence, put the work in to research it for yourself. I'm going to show you the way. I've been researching this calendar for 50 years. It took me 45 years to complete this Ipet Teru, Shabit and Twa Haru Pama'at, which means Ipet means to measure, Haru is the day. I got this interpretation through the Medu-neter from Raketi Amen, from Samaj Fatah and Hedi Kappa, who are the lead, and Dr. Reggie Mabry, who are the leading elders in Medu-neter and Mefundishi. The other interpretation is Shabit Mtwa Haru Pama'at, which means Shabit is another interpretation of to measure. Shabit Mtwa means of the star. Twa is the star. Haru is the light again. Shabit Mtwa Haru Pama'at means in accordance to the doctrines of Ma'at. So this is what we call a solar calendar, but we express it in Medu-neter as Shabit Mtwa Haru Pama'at. And so they let you know.
So let's explain this calendar. What makes this calendar so true?
Okay, first of all, you got to understand, when we lost control of this planet in 1000 BC, and the Hellenistic paradigm inflicted us under injured humanity, and the European took over the world from Greek to Rome to where we are now, they moved the center of the planet from 0 longitude to 0 latitude, which is the Giza Plateau. If you take a map of the landmass of the planet, the landmass, if you split it and dissect it down, you'll end up on Giza Plateau at 30 longitude, 30 latitude, but it's really 0, 0. 0 longitude and 0 latitude today is Greenwich, England. So when you look at your watch, and you woke up this morning, you imprisoned your mind because you're looking at GMT and UTC, which is Greenwich Mean Time and Universal Time Coordinated. How is it that they can maintain our subjugation for 3,000 years, pass it down to their children and their generation on how to keep their foot on our neck?
They keep us busy with time. They keep us busy.
They keep us at the plantation. They keep whipping us and everything else. Yes, but listen, it's got more sophisticated than that, because now it's mental, physical, and spiritual and mental carceration. You're a mental slave because you're walking dead. You're mentally, physically, spiritually, you're dead. So we're trying to return the vibrations of a spiritual live it, how to eat, to live, to get the vibrations of your body back up to the right frequency so that you can communicate on the right vibration to receive the immortality and enlightenment that we're here to receive. So we're going to get to that part, but let's get to the part on understanding how to tell time. So they imprison us under a lunar cycle calendar. First of all, our calendar, our Ipeteru is solar, sidereal, and lunar. They took the solar and sidereal away and left us with a lunar cycle calendar, which is every 29.
It's everything. It shows all of them.
Ours is solar, sidereal, and lunar. It's always the integer. Everything is integer. Solids, liquids, and gases. Innerverse, outerverse, universe. We have internally, externally, eternally. You understand, overstand, understand. There's some solids, liquids, and gases. It's always the presence of the integer. Okay? Now, what they did, they disconnected us from our cosmic Medu-neter, the feminine force, which is the cosmic, invisible, and biblical cord.
Before we go there, who's they?
They are, we today call them the Sethian forces. You might say it's the man, it's the system, but this has been going on for millions and millions of years as we go through this phenomenal procession. But so, right now, the forces.
They were melanated people, correct?
Yes, they were melanated people, but they were Shemsu sets. See, that's what we're going to, once you learn how to tell time, we know how we got to this planet because of the mathematical equation. We know how we came from Ra-Nebuchadnezzar gave birth to Shu and Tefnut, who gave birth to Sebenut, the sky and the earth, and the sky, who gave birth to the earth gods, who was Heru, As, Asar, As, Set, Heru, Asar, Set, As, and Nebhet. Asar and Aset gave birth to Heru, and Heru gave birth to the 4 children of Heru, who are the Shemsu horde, right? So we're the Shemsu horde. But Set had children too. And it was always, Set was once always the right-hand man of Ra. He was on a boat of a million year, harpooning a peppy every evening so Ra could rise in the day, and everything was great. But what happened with that is why we became separated into this battle of testosterone and confusion, and this battle was because of the diet, or we call it the livid. We're going to go right there quick since we're moving in that direction. Now, the livid means that when we ate a Shemsu horde, we ate only of the seed. And we ate, and the Neterus, they ate mono. Mono means, is like that Latin, all we know is Latin and Greek. Mono means one, like monotheism and so on and so forth. There was a mono diet. So if Ra's at the table, all the Neterus are at the table, and they eat mono. Ra got an apple, you eat an apple all day. You eat the lettuce, you eat the lettuce all day. You know, pineapple, you understand what I'm saying? It's a mono diet. So the gods are eating mono, and all of a sudden they look down at the end of the table, there's Uncle Set. He's got this, he's got that, he's eating and drinking at the same time. He's just out of control. So Ra looks over to Seven, the mother and father, and Shu and Tefnut, they say, what's wrong with your kid over here? He's out of control. So they banished him from the table, okay?
So when you say Ra and all these are
cosmic metaphors. You can use them as cosmic metaphors, but they are the cosmic forces that allow you love, guidance, and protection through the daily experience of ponderable matter. This way, because most of the people in the Kemetic community now, they're scholars, they have no spirituality. Everybody calls this spookism. Our spirituality is spookism. Now, we taught the world spirituality, now we're trying to get back. I don't want to hear that, that's spookism.
Well, every religion and culture, they have their own story with their own name, so I understand where you're coming from, but I need you to break down, whenever you say name, I want you to break down what this name means and what it represents.
Exactly. Okay, so let's get back to, we got to get back to time first, okay, before we even understand. Or we can go to the creation. We can stop in the creation, or we can stop in the,
creation. Let's start there. Let's start at the beginning.
Okay. There is an order that applies to all things. This order is called the order of existence. It was issued by the creator of all things, Ra-Nebuchadnezzar, to ensure the continuous perpetual evolutions of all things. So when I speak to you of the New Age order of the Great Golden Age of Ma'at Asar, and the New Age order star gospel of the self-creation of Ra-Nebuchadnezzar, it is of this order that I speak. Now, to break it down in a scientific manner, we'll break it down scientifically and we'll break it down religiously, first of all, before we go mathematically. In the origins of existence that we know scientifically, there are four primordial forces. These four forces are electromagnetism, weak force, strong force, and gravity. We're all at accord with that. Okay? Now, in the religious text, Ra Neferteshira, before the creator of all existence, before he became Ra Neferteshira, he had 4 attributes of manifestation to develop. He had to develop the ability to experience the phenomenon of being. So his first attribute is called Temu. Temu in Medu-neter means to think. Temu means thought. Temu means plan. And he becomes the first attribute of manifestation, and this mentalism is equated to electromagnetism. Then he spoke his name as a word of power. He became PTAH. PTAH means the door. PTAH is the force that opened up and let out the creator as a string and a strand using astrophysics and quantum mechanics. Using that terms, he becomes a fluctuation in a wave. But PTAH is the door that opened up and let out the creator when he spoke his name as a word of power in the religious text. How the cosmic metaphor works in the spirituality is through the Usa Medu-neter. We're back to the Medu-neter. And he speaks his name as Heka. This is the first magic. He pronounced his name as a word of power. And he came out of the primeval ocean of nothingness. So before we get into that, let me explain primeval ocean of nothingness. This is the ocean, the void. This is the origin of being. Is the void of the origin of being comes from the primeval ocean of nothingness, which is the first void. This is explained scientifically as oblivion. Let me explain it as oblivion. That's that first green picture. If you could throw the green picture up for a PowerPoint for someone to see, so they can so we can PowerPoint this at the same time, because if not, we'll do a mental exercise. Okay. Oblivion. We're talking the primeval ocean of nothingness. This is the all of all. Mathematically, when we say the primeval ocean of nothingness, if you wanted to say nothingness mathematically or numerically, you would use a 0, right? Because a 0 means nothing.
Right.
But it also means everything, because we're talking about the all of alls, where everything that is, was, and shall be is contained, right?
Right.
So the mathematical equation, as you would notice it with our great brother, Dr. Gabriel Yibo, who has the mathematical formula for Gij, comma J equals 0, who he's being nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, by the way. His mathematical equation is 0, and on the right of 0, if you take a piece of paper, just write 0 in the middle. Then on the right side of the paper, write +1, +2, +3, +4, +5, infinity. Then on the left, you put -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, infinity. Okay, that's the mathematical equation that covers all variants of origins and development of the universe. Now we're going into developing it as particles, as solids, liquids, and gases. We understand that. So oblivion is a place. We're talking about the primeval ocean, of which is that 0. Oblivion is a place of perpetual continuance, where particles of existence are reduced to the lowest common denominator, invisible electrons, strings, and strands. It is a form of existence that connects the concept of subspansion and expansion. Its boundaries are endless and ever-reaching, indicating that it is the outer cover of this universe of radiation and light, and the inner cover that encloses this universe of dualism. This is the place of the all of alls, the holy of holiest, that sandwiches the universe of radiation and light. This qualifies it as the place or plane where matter can be reduced, absorbed, and then stored for the purpose of continuous perpetuation, where particles of the light are collected for the redistribution process involved in continuous evolution. Oblivion is the capacitor of capacitance. Capacitance is the ability to collect and store energy. This energy that is collected can also be released and discharged. From this energy that is released and discharged comes the laws of attraction and repulsion. Harmonic strings and strands represent the quantum result of the total decimation of the atom, leaving behind invisible electron lines of the magnetic flux. So as we begin to explain this scientifically, you begin to be able to grasp the primordial origins.
So I have a question.
Sure.
At what point, as I'm listening, and I don't want to throw off your, continue. At what point does the scientific expression of what we know today disconnect from the spiritual Kemetic science of what we've lost or what we've forgotten as a species?
Because from the beginning of our conversation, from time, how they did it was they stuck you on a lunar cycle calendar. This is why you don't know. So under a lunar cycle calendar, all you can do, which is 29 and a half days, is a lunar cycle calendar. So any calendar that you have that's 30 days is a lunar cycle calendar. 7-day week is lunar cycle. 8-day week is lunar cycle. And a 10-day week is lunar cycle. So with the lunar cycle calendar, all you can do is grow crops. You can grow crops because it's a seasonal calendar. You can inundate, you know the inundation of the Nile. You'll know when a woman's menstrual cycle and the birth gestation, and you'll know the high tides and low tides. But you cannot.
It's needed though. It's needed. The lunar calendar is needed, just like the solar calendar is needed.
No. We have a lunar civil and solar goes side by side. They interweave. It's a tapestry that connects you with the vibration. Without all three, then you become injured humanity where you're at now. Because you can never achieve immortality. The reason why you can't achieve immortality is because the Abakaku, your spirit, cannot pass through the stratosphere. Your Ku cannot pass through the stratosphere and connect to the cosmic, invisible, and biblical cord, which is that band that you see at night, that Milky Way galaxy. That band that you see that you said is a Milky Way galaxy. That's the quadrant of the arm of our galaxy, which is a cosmic metaphor for the Medu-neter, the Queen Mother Goddess, because you came from a woman, you came from the Mother Goddess womb, and you're taught and nurtured through the Mother Goddess all through your life. So she prepares you for your journey back into her cosmic, invisible, and biblical cord, which is that Milky Way band, which takes you back to the galaxy, to that black hole of our Milky Way galaxy, which is producing stars and light, and which is expanding with the universe. So all the texts of our pyramid text, Mastaba text, and all the ancient Medu-neter texts, that our ancestors believed that we would ascend to the stars and to the star field and to have immortality as a star expanding with the universe, becoming part of the universe, because we came from the stars and we return to the stars.
So basically saying we have to find balance within ourselves in order to realign with what you're saying, what's happening in the cosmos.
Absolutely, but that can only be done. Excuse me, Mother. Queen Mother, was the Queen Mother saying something? Okay. Yes.
Okay. So when you think about, when I think about everything, all species, all animals and things like that, there has to be something imprinted in us that makes all of us timeless. So for instance, for animals who know nothing about calendars or lunar or solar, there's within them a part that connects them to everything, to where they know where they are. Whether it's vibration or whatever. Marine life and all those things. So
so you have to, excuse me, Queen Mother, I understand what you're saying. So this takes you back to acquiring the ability to experience the phenomenon of being. That takes you back to the Zep Tepi, because the Creator, when he released himself as a string and a strand. And then oblivion sucked him back in. Because that's what oblivion.
Wait a minute. Wait, okay, go ahead.
I'm trying to explain what she wanted, the connection, the common denominator. The common benefactor is what I'm trying to explain to her. But if you guys want to say something plus to go with it, I'll do that too.
I'm just going to say, you're talking about that sperm, but keep on going.
Okay. So hold on a second. So I want to reiterate for a second. I think you might have misunderstood my question earlier. I didn't want to.
Oh, your question? I'm going. Okay, go ahead.
While you were flowing. So real quick, I'm asking again, and I'm listening. And, I'm also gaining knowledge as well. So I want to know, at what point does the ancient Kemetic science of our ancestry disconnects from a scientific expression? And the reason why I asked that,
it never disconnects. And it only disconnect. It has disconnected now because of the Hellenistic paradigm doctrines of ancient humanity, 1000 BC, when they implemented Eratosthenes and Aristarchus in 754 BC, reformed the calendar. Google, for your due diligence, Google first calendar reform, 754 BC, Eratosthenes and Aristarchus, when Darius ran the Sparta Pianki into Haka Shabaka, the Christian back up into Napata and Namuri. Then the Libyans ran the Assyrians out. Then Darius came in and imprisoned everybody. Then everybody ganged up on Darius. And after Darius was ran out, the Greeks took over. And this is when they reformed, because no one knew how to tell time. They took over, he put the crown on his head, everybody's Nesubiti, and then one day someone said, well, man, does somebody know what time it is? They didn't know what time it was. Right. So they took a couple of updates.
Basically, the time they threw them off balance, pretty much. Right?
No, they came there to find the time, really. I'm just using that as a little, keep it comical, to keep them, I'm trying to just put a little comedy.
You're saying by the time that we're going by now, it threw people off balance. It put us into a slavery mentality.
A slavery mentality. It's called inhumanity, right? And it was imposed upon you because of time. And once they put you on a lunar cycle calendar, they shifted the 0 longitude, 0 latitude is no longer Giza Plateau.
Right. So basically, this was meant to happen, right? This had to happen, correct?
Because of the great golden age of Set, which is Pisces, of course. Pisces is two fish going in opposite directions. It happens every 24,000 years we go through this sign. But we never went through it like this before. It was
meant for us to go through this.
Absolutely. There's nothing happens like that.
Why do you think it was meant for humanity to go through this?
Because obviously, because of the eons and eons of time that the earth has developed, the stages that we progressed to, is at the point now where we're back into this total destruction, and there's going to be this total destruction of the planet. If us Nagas do not wake up and regain our rightful places, if the queen mothers do not become the queens of the planet again, and if you do not become the Nesubitis of the planet, who guardians of the planet, who provide for the cosmic forces, who allow you love, guidance, and protection through the daily experience of ponderable matter, back to that, which is in balance with my art, then we're going to lose this planet. They're already making plans. They found an exoplanet already. They're already making plans to leave this planet. They're going to blow this planet up. Now, you keep coming around.
Do you actually think, Mr. Patel, I understand where you're coming from. I understand all of it. Do you actually think the Earth is going anywhere?
No, I don't. But they're going to try. They're going to try to disturb. They're going to exterminate you. They're going to make you extinct. The planet's not going anywhere. But anyway, we're not going nowhere. I know where I got us covered. I understand. Don't take it personal. Let me get back to the Queen Mother's question.
But Todd, hold on. I'm going to let you get back to it. I apologize.
Queen Mother, I apologize.
I'm sorry, Queen. I apologize. So just so you know, all right, this whole thing with Ken Shu, he believes that everything.
I know that.
He believes everything's in divine order, right?
I know. It is in divine order.
It's in divine order. I agree with him to a point of extent.
But all divine order means the scale balances down, the scale balances back to balanced scale, and sometimes the scale goes off balance, and then it has to balance out. But as we move through the phenomenon of precession of 26,000 years, as we're expanding, this is all part of the proportional and unified expansion of the universe. Everything is in order.
But I believe
it's a reason why it was said.
Okay, Kenshu. Yes, Kenshu. But can I get back to the Queen Mother's secret? If I answer her question, it's going to answer your answer.
I can't even
definitive.
Go ahead.
Definitive answers.
All right, let's find balance. Go ahead.
Definitive answers require definitive explanation, absolute accountability, and star validation. Now, you allow me to give you absolute accountability and star validation. Thank you. Yes, Queen Mother. What the animals and the plants and the birds and the bees and the trees and every particle of existence has in common is the electron. So we know this because let's just deal with the sun. The sun is an atom, a hydrogen atom. It is a stable hydrogen atom. It has a proton, a neutron surrounded by a nucleus that has an electron. We know that Einstein and them isolated the proton and they isolated the neutron. And they're trying to find the electron. And as they try to isolate the electron, they can't do it because the electron's always moving. It's called interdimensional property. It's bing, 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 bing. So they can't isolate it. So what they did was he took the 14 protons or something and 2 neutrons and he smashed it together, trying to find the electron. And you know what he found, right? The bomb, boom, the atom bomb. That's how they found the bomb, trying to find the electron, because they knew that our divine seekers relied within the electron because they read the Medu-neter script. They went to the Hermetis, they've all studied in all the ancient knowledge, and so they tried to attack us scientifically. But what we have to understand is all goes back to the origins of existence and the creation of the universe, which is the Zep-Tepi. I wrote this here 30 years ago. Let me see, I'm 62 years old. I wrote this here 40 years ago. It's how I got out of the Medu-neter. This is how I became a royal scribe, besides constructing the royal burial chamber of Nesubiti Espalta at the Museum of the National Center of Afro-American Artists at 300 Walnut Ave in Roxbury.
So you know how to read all that?
I wrote this, and it's a retranslation from the Pyramid and Mastaba text and all five of the major cosmologies of the temples of ancient Kemet. You got the Kemet.
The reason why I ask is people are saying that there's no way that you can read the Medu-neter.
Of course I can read the Medu-neter. Now, I might not be able. We've been reading Medu-neter for the last 80-something years. It's only these fools.
So why are people saying that the Medu-neter cannot be read?
Because it's called contraband. Contraband is niggas conditioning other niggas into mental slavery. This is what they're trained to do. They're there to break you from receiving your immortality. You got your, they're called Shemsu sets. Let's not even get into that. We already know we can read and write it. We speak it. And we taught them. We taught the world everything. Of course we know how to read and write it. Okay, but now we might not be able to speak it to its perfection. We might not be able to vocalize it because of the de-emphasizing of lingua, and because they changed the vowels, and most of the words are, it's more of a clacking noise, because the clacking creates the vibration on the back of the pineal gland, which hits the chakra stones, ignites the chakras, and it creates the vibration, which makes the attunement, that gives you the enlightenment, because then you make the word, and the word makes the sound, and the sound makes the vibration, which creates the beat frequency, which is motion. And the motion begins expansion. It all goes down to the word. And this is how the origins of existence came from this text here. And it says religiously, the universe and all things came into being when Ra Nebuchadnezzar Teshira spoke his name as a word of power.
Read it. How does it read on that paper?
It reads right. Okay, we put it up here.
No, where does it start?
It starts right here. It starts at the top here. Okay, so it starts here. No, hold on, it's upside down. Excuse me. It reads from left to right.
Okay.
It always reads, ancient Medu-neter reads from left to right. And it reads down. This one reads down. Now, sometimes it reads register by register going down. This one's reading from left to right, column by column, this way, okay? And the first word, as you can see up here, is a mouth. There's a mouth with the line, which means the chapter. The chapter. There's the house with the mouth and the legs. Pert. The chapter coming forth. M, the owl. There's the sun disk. By day. Can you see that? And there it is. This is Churu with the papyrus reef with the black circle, means and knowing. The chapter of coming forth by day. No, coming forth by day and knowing. There's the beetle. The beetle represents Kepra. Kepra means he who evolves. The evolver of evolutions, who evolved out of nothingness. Chapter of coming forth by day. And knowing the evolutions, to evolve. The evolutions of, here's his name here. Ra, Neb, Tesher, Ra. In peace, moving in peace forever, forever in eternity. That's the first thing. That's the first line. Okay. And to identify now.
Okay, the reason why I ask you, because there's people on Facebook asking, how do you know it's reads from left to right?
Of course, because of the way that the figures are facing. If the faces are facing one way, like this owl, see the owl here? The owl is facing this way. Everything faces this way. The K is facing this way. The V for the F faces, see his face is moving this way. So you're reading it always read from left to right. We read from right to left, not left to right. Our ancient ancestors read from right to left. You read from left to right because it's always backwards. Anything Caucasians do is always backwards because they de-emphasize your attunement, your vibration. So they reverse. So you have to use the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere of the brain to interact it. You have to reverse all polarity. They got you coming and going, and you don't even know it. Okay, but we're reading from left to right. Okay, now it says here, first words, Anuk means I am. When you say Anuk, you don't just say Anuk, you say you're clacking. You make the clack with the nuke, and this creates the vibration, and this is how the Medu-neter is spoken for real. We know this because of the Bantu and the Huta and the Twa people of South Africa, who we originated from the southern Africa and migrated up north. We know that they have linguists and etymology that is still similar today to the Medu-neter in respect to the neterus, or the cosmic forces, and the gods and goddesses of creation. If you check out the etymology, go to a Facebook page called Seshe Medu-neter. They teach great Medu-neter there, part of the Amen Ra squad, and they do a great work, and they're overseen by Brother Reggie Maybury, who is the scientific Professor Brother Reggie, who is part of the conscious community in Sinetta TV. Brother Reggie oversees all the mathematical and all the linguists and etymology that's being performed, being translated. And Mepundishi is a great teacher. Reketi Amen, a renowned Medu-neter. Let me speak of her. She is the most renowned speaker. And we have Samaj Patar and also Hedi Kapra from the White and Gold Lotus Temple. Okay, but anyways, when we read the first chapter, this is what the Greeks did. Let us examine how we lost it. They took.
All I'm seeing right here is symbols, right?
You're seeing Medu-neter. It means
the Greeks call this the hieroglyphics, right?
Right. Hiero means sacred. Glyphics means word. It meant sacred words in Latin and Greek.
So the words are hidden behind the symbols. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's divine words that are represented through divine order and divine expression. Everything is within divinity, and these divine manifestations is what maintains your immortality.
Right.
Okay, your entombment. It's all about entombment. Yes.
Okay. So basically, this is the first language exam, correct?
Of course. Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
Right.
The first written and spoken word was the symbol of the sun. This is the first written and spoken word right here. The circle and the dot. It's called the circle and the dot. It's the first written and spoken word on the planet. And what they saw was when there was a total eclipse of the sun, right? A total eclipse of the sun, when the moon passes in front of the sun completely, it creates, boom, a big aura. A ring goes around the moon. When it's a total eclipse of the sun, is another ring that appears. And when our ancestors, our most earliest ancient African indigenous primordial Naga, Shemsaru, Nesubiti ancestors saw this symbol, they thought the creator was signing his name in the sky. And they called him Ra. The second oldest and written Medu-neter symbol is this here. This is the Ankh. Many people know the Ankh.
Right. So
okay.
They use symbols. Okay. So this is my example. Whenever you have a kid, right?
I have what?
Whenever you have a child, the first thing the child is going to look at is symbols and letters and numbers and stuff like that. They're not going to look at words. So they're going to look at symbols first.
No. What they're going to look at is the cosmic forces that allow you love, guidance, and protect you through the daily experience of punishable matter. That's what they're going to look at. They're going to look at nature. They're going to see the sun. They're going to feel the air. They're going to have the water. They're going to have their mother. They're going to have the nurturing. Okay?
You're going to teach your kids symbols before you teach them words.
Yes.
Words are nothing but symbols.
They both come together. There was never a time when words and symbols didn't go together.
Right. But
now they try to say that man started scratching on the ground first, and then he said, "Oh, go, 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 go." Okay, that's the European mentality. Our people never like that. We came straight from the neterus. We came directly from the.
They got the symbols from nature.
Right.
They looked at it, and they drew the symbols how nature looked.
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is how the first language got started. They looked and they drew out what they seen.
They identified themselves with the netures, which are the cosmic forces or nature, right? Because
somebody had to add a word to what they've seen, or had to add on as time went by.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So this is the evolution of humanity.
Absolutely.
It started off with symbols and it turned into words.
Right. And words are what?
Words are nothing but symbols.
But what do words do? They create vibrations and sound. Exactly. And when you create a sound and you make a vibration, which create a frequency, I'm sorry. You're reproducing and duplicating an act of the original act of origins of existence. You understand what I'm saying? So this is how we understood this is how you understood, who am I? Where do I come from? Why am I here? And where am I going? These are the questions we want to answer. Our ancestors have already laid it out for you. They've built megalithic architectural engineering. They've built monuments so great they can never be destroyed. There's so many monuments upon the planet of Earth of our symbolism that was erected because they knew there was going to come a time when we were going to be the lowest of the low, and they was going to destroy everything that we had and deface everything and leave us where we're at now. But there's still more that they couldn't do that. And what they couldn't destroy was a star. Oh man, was a star. Wow, my battery's going down already. Was a star called something. So they stole your, I'm back in. They stole your yesterdays. They denied you your tomorrows. Only thing that you have is right now. This present second is yours. And what their ancestors left with you was something they called in Medu-neter, Ta Sa Ra. Ta means the earth, Sa means a star, and Ra is the sun. Or as we would say in cosmic metaphor or esoterical interpretation, it would be yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So there's a star that appears on the horizon every 360 days with the sun that marks the heliacal rising. And it's through this star that is incorruptible. Stars do not lie, okay? This star recognizes this mathematical equation by locating the star shows that the earth has made one complete revolution of the sun, okay? So this is math. So we have math first. We had to understand mathematics. And when we identified with this, now we begin to identify where we came from, who we are. This is how we answered the questions, by using the cosmic metaphors, by using the cosmic forces that allow us love, guidance, and protection. This is called primordial temple discipline. In order to do this, in order to see what I'm saying, you would have to have your first day. This means you have to know Ma'at. People say, what is Ma'at?
First day. Explain the first day.
Okay. Ma'at is your first day.
Okay. So basically you have to find balance within yourself, pretty much.
You have to find balance with Ma'at. And Ma'at is within you. Yes.
Ma'at is the door. Ma'at is the door. Your heart.
No, Ma'at is not the door. Ma'at is, Patah is the door. See, okay. So now you gotta understand when you say things.
On the cosmic level, Patah is
on the cosmic level, door. Right. Okay. Now we're talking terrestrial.
Ma'at is also the door on her
level. Right. You're gonna have to go through the door of Ma'at to have your first day. Absolutely. Yes.
So basically, just like Christianity says, I stand at the door and knock. Your heart has to be open in order to receive the level of enlightenment that you need to have before you go to your next step. Pretty much.
No, yes, but that's where they stole it.
That's the first day.
That's where they stole it from. But to have your first day means that you have to be in tune with the cosmic forces that allow you love, guidance, protection through the daily experience of ponderable man. I know I keep repeating myself, but this is how you acquire the ability to experience the phenomenon of being, because to have your first day, if you ate meat today, if you ate flesh and contaminated your body to that level of frequency that the frequency cannot vibrate,
I have to disagree with that.
Okay, but
the reason why I have to disagree with that because I had my first day whenever I was eating all that stuff. I was 250 pounds and I had my enlightenment moment. Okay, and my life changed from there, and it moved forward from there. I grew spiritually or soulfully from there.
Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely.
So what you're saying about the eating.
So you might
have your first day by eating.
You might have made it to the threshold, and you might have made it up under the top of the canopy or something. But you listen to it. I understand what you're saying, and you're blessed. That's a great moment for you. That's a great affirmation. That's a great opportunity.
The first day will be undeniable.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But now you have to maintain that day. That's only one step. The path to immortality. is millions and millions of years, okay? right? We're talking millions and millions of years, okay? Okay, so you get to your first day, and now at the end of the day, Uncle Seth was waiting for you, and you didn't make it to the morning because of what you had in your system, and it brought down people today might not live to see tomorrow because of what they have in the system.
If I eat a piece of meat and my soul is mature and ready to go to the next step, my soul is strong within me, you think that meat is going to stop me from going to the next journey?
What I'm trying to tell you is you might not wake up in the morning because of your high blood pressure and all the other illness and cancer and everything else that it creates. Listen to me, brother. Our people are dying every day from this food. Okay, all right. So I'm trying to get you to the first day. I know you've had your first day. Can I give someone else a day? Can someone else get their day, brother? Brother Kensu, can we give someone else a day too? Don't hog all the days, man. You're okay. You're okay. You had your first day. You're on the way, brother. You're cool. Now let me get the next person there. Can we get somebody to walk with you in this day? Can you have company with this day? We get you someone.
I understand what you're saying. You're saying what you're saying religiously.
I'm talking scientifically. I'm talking scientifically, mathematically, and spiritually, all at the same time. Because scientifically,
this is the foundation. Okay, this is a religious foundation that they teach you. Okay, and people need to know the religious foundation. Every culture teaches you a religious foundation because
they're all a mimic and they're all an imitation of the original one. Because when Asa Unefa Kentia Menti, when mankind was born on the planet, Newton said that's why we have 9 days a week, and that's why there's 365 days, because originally there was 360 days in a year, because there's 24 hours and 35 minutes in every day. That means there's 9 days a week, 4 weeks in a month, and 36 days in every month. So 10 times 36 is 360 days. Okay? Now, there's only 6 forms of life: plant, insects, reptiles, water creatures, birds that fly, and animal. We don't exist. Okay? Now, this is when the Neterus, this is when the spirituality, because if there's no spirituality, if you cannot connect this cosmic metaphor of these sacred doctrines, spiritually, mentally, and physically, or scientifically, religiously, and mathematically, then you're just another well-dressed thug, like John Henry Clark would say. You know what I mean? You're just another Roman and another Greek, another well-dressed thug. That which does not bring about your liberation, which is immortality, like John Henry Clark would say, was designed to ensure your subjugation, your mental, physical, and spiritual subjugation, and therefore must be tossed or sent or thrown away into the ash can or icebox of European history, predicated upon the Hellenistic paradigm doctrines of injured humanity. That's the Dr. John Henry Clark. So he's telling you right off the rip that if it's not perpetuating your immortality or your liberation completely, mentally, physically, and spiritually, scientifically, religiously, and mathematically, using the integer, then it's part of your subjugation. And what we have to understand, it's been 3,000 years of daily malicious onslaught. They have an unbridled license to condition you every day. This is where we're at today. We're at today where you've seen your day, you're okay, Kenchu. Can I let us discuss the nation as a people and collectively.
But I need the people to understand, because there's many people that's in different cultures and different religions that came from the religion that you're speaking of. Just because it is what you call injured.
No, we're injured, yes. Not them, not the religion, but we are, yes.
But the religion came from that, so the religion may be fragmented. But the power is still within the religions because it came from that.
Okay, so what is the power that we're speaking of?
We're speaking of the spirituality.
Okay, all right. Now this spirituality became a conception. How? What occurred that made this happen? This is what we're trying to talk about right now and answer the Queen Mother, back to the Queen Mother's question. We still ain't got to answer her question because you went right into the interpretation, and you got the people in the chat room. I got to break this down. Can I get back to the Queen Mother? Because hello, can we get the screen and let everybody see there's a feminine aspect in this chat room, please? Can we see the Queen Mother Antoinette, please? Medu-neter, Everybody
sees her.
Oh, they see it? Okay, I don't see it. Okay, great. Okay, now, the creator, scientifically, we call it X-electron. X-electron, what the common denominator that she's seeking is the electron. When the creator came out, when he released himself through the word, or as energy that is collected, absorbed, and then stored must be released, he came out as a string and a strand. And when he came out, he was fluctuating. He says, first I must release myself. So he released himself. Then he had to seek out himself. But in order to seek out himself, he had to become electrically charged. He had to embrace interference. So what happened was one end of the string split, and the other end of the string split. It's like putting a plug in the wall. That's the masculine and the feminine in the creator, because the creator is a he, she. He's the mother and the father of all existence. And when he split it, he became electrically charged with electromagnetism. And he began to seek out himself. And he began to twist and turn. And he became this egg-shaped anomaly. This is why we have this symbol on our most ancient symbol. Our ancestors knew of this egg. If you flash the picture for the people of my book, they'll see this egg-shaped anomaly that our ancestors knew. NASA found this egg-shaped anomaly in 1989. Okay? So now, this is the first essence of creation. First was sound, through and it sparked through the electron. So we call it X-electron. So it says, in the beginning, there is energy, Ner, and its name is oblivion. In the end, there is energy, Ner. Its name also is oblivion. Life is derived from power, and power is the result of energy. This is the RSGUT. It's in my book, The Cosmic Egg, aka the Primeval Germ, a journey of 59 plus 21 zeros. You can get it on my website, www.thetaroriginals.com. We break down the origin and development, origin of existence, and the creation and development of the universe scientifically, religiously, and mathematically. But let's get back to this theorem.
So, Antoinette, what was your question again?
No, I was speaking about, well, it's two things I'm thinking about. The first of which, when we think about time in a broad sense, in a collective sense, when I think about all forms of life, whether they have access to any type of calendar, there's a part of us embedded in us that connects us all, that makes us all timeless. Just like for me, immortality, there's a part of us that's already immortal, that connects us back to the beginning. So that's one thing they could not contain. Like you were talking about, stars can't be contained, electrons couldn't be contained. The same with our souls. Our souls cannot be contained. They could try to do certain things to the mind and try to imprison you with your mind, but your soul cannot be contained neither, because a part of us is light, just like the stars have light. So there's
absolutely
a part be contained either. So
absolutely,
that's the part that I think was threaded through all life forms. Is the part that's already immortal, the part of us that's timeless.
Yes. Absolutely. That was perfectly put, Queen Mother Goddess. Absolutely. But what we have to understand is that common denominator is the electron. But what they did was they separated you from time, because time is the measurement of the light through the void of deep dark cold space from one point of distance to another. So they took the light and atomic energy, which is the hydrogen atom, and replaced it with the moon. So now you're under a lunar cycle. Okay, so we just have to learn that we have the magnification of this concept of a lunar cycle. Okay, and this is what sets up your limitations. It's all about giving you a limitation, right?
So
right.
Orlando. So we're on this side of the lunar cycle. Okay, we was on the solar side, but
solar syndrome.
Right, but didn't it supposed to happen?
Huh? You talking to Orlando?
I'm talking to Orlando.
You want to know if this was supposed to happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
he's on you now, Orlando. He wants you, man.
Okay, so first of all, it was a lot said, and I can't even really.
I know. Don't worry about it. I got him. Let me back. Let me get him, Orlando. I get him for you.
Well. This is how I look at this whole divine order thing, and this is just from my perspective, because that's really where we're going. So I believe everything in the cosmos and everything on Mother Earth is in divine order. The only thing that's outside of divine order is humanity. And the only reason why humanity is outside of divine order is because we don't understand who and what we are on a divine conscious level. Therefore, the reason why, as I'm looking at my brother Enlightenment's page and I see all these different questions and different things, is because people are beginning to receive a whole bunch of divine, intelligent, conscious information. And
that's great. That's beautiful.
It is difficult for us to be able to process and to regurgitate this information back to one another, whether we can understand the Medu-neter or not. The part that we need to understand is who and what we are on a cosmic level. I think that as we go through these different progressions, we are beginning to formulate another specific religion. And I think because we're starting to form these different religions or a form of religion again, it makes it difficult for our people who were once enslaved to a particular religion to gravitate towards the ideology of the ancient Kemetic science and its beauty. So the main particular question that I had, I hope I answered your question, Kenshu.
You took care of it very lovely. Yes, you did.
the main particular question I had would be for the people who are watching right now, and for the people who are still in Christianity or still in Islam or still in Hebrew Israelite or whatever form of religion you in, is how can we take all of the ancient ancestral knowledge? I'm not talking about just Kemetic knowledge. We're talking about Samaria, Mesopotamia. We're talking about all of this different hodgepodge of information that the Greeks have taken and put it into one book, which we call the Helios Biblios, the Holy Bible. How can we break this information down so that the people, whether young or old, are able to comprehend on a, watch what I say, on a natural level in which we exist? Because I heard you guys talk about time. Now, the way I perceive time is we're trapped in it. I don't think that it's something that we're bound by on our cosmic level or on our higher level. I think that because we're in skin or because we're in flesh, we're enslaved to time. Hence, we wake up, we go to bed, we have this cycle that we have to be asleep. Our bodies, these particular vehicles they're like bugs, they're like viruses, right? And as we progress through this life, we have to learn how to subdue the virus. We have to learn how to control it. We have to learn how to maintain it. For some people, that's dieting. For others, it's through meditation. I feel like every vehicle is different. But that's where I stand. That's kind of where I am on the whole situation. But yeah, I hope I answered your question, Ken, and I didn't mean to spin off that long, y'all.
Yeah, that's great. You're doing beautiful. What do you do for you, bro, Kenzo?
That was good. I mean, we can go into humanity all day long because
yes. Okay, but what we got to do is we got to identify. We're going to have to identify, as we started, why is it that after all the great teachers, all the great female teachers, Marcus, Garvey, Colors, and all the rest of all the way down the line, who has benefited and contributed to our being to where we are now, we ain't made 1 inch of progress. We ain't made one. We haven't made one. We're in the same predicament we was since day one, since Jump Street. We haven't moved. We're injured humanity, and we're dying by the thousand. We got mothers crying and babies dying, and we don't know. And we're scared to go outside because we know we're going to die. We know they're going to get shot. The police are going to mug you. They're going to tase you. They're going to handcuff you. Then they're going to shoot you. Oh, he moved. He breathed. Why is it?
Go ahead, Orlando. You know my answer.
Yeah, that goes back to kind of what we were saying a few minutes ago. About how humanity is out of order. According to Ken, he's gonna say where everything's in order. Well, we can be in order, out of order, however you want to see it. The fact of the matter is, it's almost inevitable. Why? Because at the end of the day, like I said, we're dealing with an overload of information that we're receiving on a cosmic level. As the sun has a vibrational field, it vibrates at a certain frequency, so does Mother Earth. And as these frequencies speed up and slow down, the way we receive information also does the same. Now, the problem with that, just because we understand or overstand this information, does not mean our adversary, as you call Uncle Set, does not also overstands this information and also causes this same, this blockage of the colors, the black and the white. Now, as above, so below. As the cosmos also has darkness and light as adversaries. So also on earth, we also struggle with the same issue. My thing, the way I see it, is that in the cosmic ascension, on the cosmic level, I foresee that the cosmos has learned how to exist with one another despite duality, which is something we can't seem to do, to move past the dualistic nature of our bodies being enslaved to time. Because on earth, we still have not learned how to cooperate with the Caucasian race. Not, I'm gonna say some, not all. Not everybody's thinks that way. But on the cosmic level, darkness and light seems to understand that they must work together to escape duality. But here on earth, we have not done that yet.
And go ahead, Kensu.
Well, I mean, y'all already know my answer to that. Everything is divine order. I mean, a human being has a will on a certain level. Okay, you have to learn how to find balance. Okay, in order to be beyond what we're talking about. You have to find balance within yourself. It's all about finding balance within yourself. It's all about becoming one again. Okay? Humanity can make it that way. But like I always say, there's younger souls and there's more mature souls. Okay? You have to mature in order to get that level or to get to that oneness. So you have to go through the stages. You have to go through all these stages. That's why we are putting slavery in and all this stuff. We had to learn that side. We had to learn the logical side. That's why we were more spiritual at first. We had to lay the groundwork for spirituality, and then we had to lay the groundwork for the more logical things, the science and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Okay.
We had to lay the groundwork. So now we must find balance within all the groundwork that's been laid.
Okay, so that's when we return back to our ancestors. Ma'at becomes Macharu. You have to become Macharu. Macharu means what is truth and righteously great. You must become balanced. And the only way we can become balanced is by balancing ourselves with the cosmic forces that allow us love, guidance, protection through the daily experience of tangible matter, by understanding our movement through time and space, which is time. And what our problem is, why we have not moved 1 inch of progress, is because what did you do this morning that you did yesterday morning, that you did the morning before that, and our ancestors did, and all the way back 3,000 years? There has to be a common factor here. And what happened is, when you woke up this morning, you had to find out what time it was, because you know where you're going. Where you going? You're going to the plantation. You know you got to go to that plantation and go to work. So you had to find out what time it was. So
experiencing that time.
Okay, so we're under his time, so that means he captured you immediately with GMT and UTC. The government doesn't even use this time. You know, they use ZT. They use Zulu time. Only one who uses this time is us. Okay? Because it's for imprisonment. It's for mental incarceration. Now, after you found out what time it was, you looked over to your wall or whatever, and you looked for what day it was. Now you went to his calendar. That's a double whammy. Now you've been in prison twice. Now you got up, and after you cleansed yourself and bathed yourself and brushed your teeth, you went and consumed his food. You went in the refrigerator and ate his food. Okay? So what we have here is a global or a national or a conservative effort to destroy our people mentally, physically, spiritually, without us even knowing it. We're walking and they have not a clue. We wake up in the morning, the first thing we do, we put the poison in us. We feed our children the poison. And then we disconnect our children from time. Do you know, on a lunar cycle calendar, 1 unearned day is added to the calendar every 130 years. This is why they have to keep reforming the calendar. They did it in 754. They did it in 380 with Ptolemy the First. You can Google this. It's called the Decree of Canopus. That's the Ptolemy the First, Third, and Fifth. There's three stellars written like the Chapaliones, like the Rosetta Stone, that tells them how they're conditioning us, but it also mentions the calendar. Do not forget when you read the disambiguations in artificial intelligence of Google, it will tell you that also there's a section in there that deals with the calendar, because they had to reform it then. Then we go to 46 BC with Julius Caesar, is really the second calendar reform, but we're going to call it the fourth now, because we now know of the decree of Canopus. So they're reforming the calendar to maintain your subjugation, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Hold up a minute. Let me just give the people a record so that they can Google, do due diligence, so they can receive some type of scholarship out of this at the same time before we go. 1 second, okay? I only got two more. We have Julius Caesar, 46 BC. Okay, he reformed the calendar. That's why we have the Julian calendar. Then we have another reform in 325 AD called the Council of Nicaea. Okay, not only was Jesus the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, they couldn't figure it out. And Emperor Constantine, he brought everybody together, and then with Arius, and he said it was Ptolemy. We know it was Ptolemy the first, so Serapis, September. But anyways, they also reformed the calendar and moved Jesus Christ's birthday to spring, March the 1st. So that's another calendar reform. Then we got 1585, which is the Gregorian calendar. All you got to do is Google all four of these calendar reforms, because this means that if January the 1st this year was on a Sunday, next year it's on a Monday, and the next year it's on a Tuesday, and then it's on a Wednesday, but the next year after that it jumps from Friday because there's a leap year. Okay, so this means it's a perpetual calendar. This means that on your birth, when your child is born, there's a star in the sky for his birth. And there's a star for your transition. Now, the star of your birth after 7 years is not in that position no more. And after 10 years, it's no longer in the sky when your birthday comes around. So they disconnecting you from the cosmic environment, but you're not seeing what he's doing to you mathematically, physically, spiritually. Everything is being worked against you just by a simple thing of a lunar cycle calendar. Just that variant. All he does, all that the Hellenistic paradigm does is they plagiarize it and then they corrupt it. They regurgitate it back to you with a variant that was slashed off, a mathematical variant that is no longer in the equation, and so now it's no longer balanced. If the balance isn't there mathematically, it's not there scientifically, and it's no longer there spiritually. So it's all about disconnecting you, and it's about trying to regroup. What we're here to do is reassemble the dismembered body pieces of our paternal father, Atip Natar, whose name is Asar Unefa Kentiamenti. Okay, we're here to bring all the pieces together, and all of us are all building blocks of this new age order great pyramid. I am nothing but a casing block, a cornerstone, and we're trying to build a new age order, a new great golden age order that's already waiting for us. Everybody around the world is waiting for us, and we don't even know what time it is. If you landed off a plane in China today and you was black, they look at you, they're saying, he's here, the Naga's here. As soon as you open your mouth, they say, oh, he's a nigger. He's just a nigger. Okay? And they're going to subjugate you because they know you don't even know who you are. But everybody all over the planet is waiting for the Nagas to return and restore enlightenment. Because this is what this platform that we're on, and I appreciate being on your platform, Kenchu and Ascend and Queen Mother Goddess, because this is a beautiful platform, and this is what we're here to achieve here, to acquire the ability to experience the phenomenon of being and receive our immortality. Because when I went to sleep last night, I went to sleep because to gain my immortality. And when I woke up this morning, I again reasserted myself to achieve the acquired ability to experience the phenomenon of being by receiving my immortality. And the only way I can receive my immortality is by communicating and attuning myself with the forces of nature, or the nectars, which are the light. The first strong force is the light, which is time. So we're back to time. No matter what we do, it's time. You cannot. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I'm gonna let Orlando speak it.
Yeah.
But all you're saying is you're doing something religiously in order to.
Not religiously.
You're doing something religiously that people need to learn in order to understand what's taking place inwardly. You're doing something externally. You're explaining something externally that's really taking place inwardly. So when you're talking about time and being in line with the time and stuff like that, this is talking about all your energy points within you being in a line in order for you to be balanced within yourself. That's pretty much what this is referring to. Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Can you hear me? There was a little blackout. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You're on mute, Orlando.
Oh,
yes.
I'm sorry. My apologies, family. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So, time. So you mentioned something about it gets back to time. That's our biggest enemy.
Yeah. See what's on your wrist? Hold your wrist up like this, Orlando.
Oh, watch.
Yeah, that's GMT. That's UTC. That's Greenwich, England. That is our major problem there. Okay? So once we return to this here, the Ipeteru, once we return to the Ipeteru, Shabitam Tuahiru Pama'at, we have to now recalibrate 0 longitude and 0 latitude and restore it back to its original position, which is the Giza Plateau. Now, we take the Giza Plateau and we run the Nilitical meridian line from the Giza Plateau. We run it straight down to South Africa, and we arrive at a place that the Europeans call Adam's Calendar. And Adam's Calendar is the oldest megalithic circular stone structure calendar known on this planet. It's in South Africa. And when they take the computer and they run the astrological star chart backwards, Orion's belt does not appear on top of the stone structure until 250,000 years ago. So this is how we know when this was built, because everything is orientated to Orion's belt and something. So this is how we tell time. Let me tell you how we tell time. Very simple.
Hold on. Why was the pyramid built?
Let me just tell you how to tell time first, then you can figure this out. It all comes back to time. Once you have time, you have a strong foundation to explain, and when you explain it, it will have absolute accountability and style validation. Right now, we have hypotheses. We have all types of...
What I'm saying is we already explained time.
No, we didn't explain time. Nobody knows how to tell time yet. I'm trying to tell you, our ancestors established something how to tell time. So this way, they left a message for us, and it's written in stone. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Maybe we do know. Maybe I missed that part.
No. So it gets back to time.
Exactly.
Whether time on the schedule of the Greeks or time of our ancient ancestors, it's still time. The times are different, of course, but it's still time. So
Greek time, but with Greek time, you're still a slave. But we go back to the other side, we're going to be Nagas again. Now, I want to wake up and be a Naga. I want to have immortality, if it's all right with you.
I'm glad you said that, because that brings it back to the original question I was going to ask when we were dealing with time.
I'm running out of my ginseng, royal jelly, and bee pollen. I don't have nobody refill my drink. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I have reason to believe that the body you host, that is only a temporary house vessel. So who you truly are, you're not bound by time. Whether we get away from the time of the Greek enslavement and we go back to the time of our ancient ancestors, time would still be in play. But time is not who you are, because who you truly are you're not bound by time. So what I feel at the end of the day, our biggest problem is what I feel was our biggest problem was that we were not awakened, or as you look at
conscious.
You want to say conscious? Yeah, conscious. We were not conscious.
Consciousness is the awareness of being. Go ahead.
Exactly. So, but as you look all over the world, if you look at the stream, if you look at this quarter, the conscious community, if you look at, people are beginning to come into this awareness, and that is the beginning of the healing. The problem is, just like everything that we go through, there's always the dualistic nature of all things. Right? Now we can move beyond this dualistic enslavement that we're experiencing, and we can come to a cooperation, meaning that we don't have to just be, but we can all have choices and free will and cooperate on this physical reality. Whether Khenshu agrees or whether Antoinette agrees, the fact of the matter is we all understand that the cosmos is affecting us That is the most valuable point. We don't always agree on this physical dimension that we live on, meaning that we don't agree on little what do you call it, minute things, about life, what you like, what you dislike. That's going to always be up to the discretion of that particular soul who's in that particular entity that you're housed in right now. So when you're not meant to live on this physical planet forever. That is a fact. We all must die, whether we're living in the solar time or this particular Greek enslavement time. The fact of the matter is, this temple, this body, this physical shell, this carbon-12 melanated being that I'm in right now will not live forever on this dimension. I, or what I truly am, will ascend beyond this particular dimension.
All right, we go. Okay, there we go. Now you're answering, where am I going? Why am I here? And where am I going? Now, where are you going? Now you've transcended. What happened to the body? The body is incorporated, incorporeal. Now, what happened to the spirit? Where did you go? What happened? What was the next level? Where is the next stage that brings you harmony in thought or tranquility or enlightenment? What is the reason for the being then? We have to be able to explain all these questions here. So now we got the European. Go ahead, Bodie. We got Bodie here. Here we go, Bodie. Go ahead. I know I was going to lead him right in that one. I knew he was coming up.
I was trying to get to it before he did, but go ahead, brother Kid.
Well, Mr. Patel, we're all here for soul growth, okay? We're all here for soul. Soul, sun, same thing, soul growth, light. So we're all here for growth within, okay? So we have to go through the different stages. Once we go through the different stages, we will leave this body. Everything that you said was the same thing that's within a woman, okay? The cosmic egg and the black hole and all these things that you said is within the mother, okay? So if you know that you came from your father and then went to your mother, now you should know that you are in another body, okay? This is the third body that you're in. You must leave this body and go into another body. You must continue to grow macro and macro and macro. So what you're saying, that you have to go through that egg again, you're right. You have to go through the egg process again in order to be reborn again into another body, but you will be more conscious and more macro. That's what's going to take place.
Now, that was a nice analogy. So now, what we do know is that the mainstream concept is this heaven and hell thing. But once we understand the ancient primordial Mayatean text through the Medu-neter, we understand there is no heaven and hell. There's only, them are European concepts. There is only continuous perpetuation. Was that me?
No, Antoinette is Antoinette.
I'll be back.
Okay, mute your phone, please. Okay. Go ahead, Brother Patah.
Okay, the ancient Mayatean doctrines say that there's only continuous perpetuation, which means you're inside the primeval ocean of nothingness, or your continuous evolutions, which means you came from the egg, and the egg, after the egg expressed itself and outgrew itself and created the gamma ring, and then created and embraced Kepler, became atomic energy and produced these black holes, became the expanded universe, which we call continuous evolution. So there's only continuous perpetuation or continuous perpetuation or continuous evolutions. Now we're a part of continuous evolution because we're born from Ra Never Teshuvah, the direct issue. So we're trying to expand with continuous evolution. Now, the questions are, can the spirit die? Okay, let's start answering. Huh?
No.
The spirit cannot die. Okay, but okay, in some sense or form, another under normal circumstances, no. They think that matter cannot be destroyed, only altered, changed, and rearranged. If you're talking science, but these atheists is out here, and the scientists is out here who are listening in. Some people battle things mentally on a scientific level. Some people can only battle it on a mathematical level, and some people are religious zealots. okay? But we're trying to relate this scientifically, religiously, and mathematically and balance it with my art through astronomy and astrology so we could bring absolute accountability and star validation, all right? So now when we answer these questions, they say matter cannot be destroyed. Einstein said matter cannot be destroyed, only altered, changed, and rearranged. Stephen Hawking understood the concept of dark radiation, which are these black holes, such as our Milky Way galaxy. And he understood that active black holes, which absorb light, if a star moves out of this gravitational pull and enters around this black hole, will be pulled into the black hole, and it would lose its atomic value and become decimated, okay? But now they know this, but once it goes around this Ergus field inside the black hole, it goes into a part they call the event horizon, the outer event horizon, which is starts to pull you down. Once you get into the inner event horizon, you get the spaghetti effect, and you lose your atomic value. You get sucked down into what they call the commonology or the singularity. They don't even know where you go or what happens to energy when it is absorbed by this black hole. Okay, but they know what happens. But they know that this matter had become altered, not only altered, changed, and rearranged, but it was destroyed to some part because it was obliterated. Now, religiously, in the religious text, they say gods and goddesses are immortal because the elements are here forever. But in the text, it says that Osiris was killed by Set. So this is the contrast, this is the comparison through philosophy or spirituality using mathematics and science on trying to relate and balance these concepts of mentalism in which we see occur physically, spiritually, and mentally, okay? So this is how we start to relate. Now you take this, which is based upon terrestrial thought and atomic energy, which is a black hole. A black hole is described in science as dark radiation. So this is atomic energy we're talking about and describing its effect, which must be paralleled or mirrored or reflect that which is subatomic, in which subatomic is the universe where the egg exists, which is the other void that we are of continuous evolution, and it must be mirrored with where the egg came from, which came out of the primeval ocean from the beginning of nothingness, or the all of all. So once we begin to be able to equate these thoughts and balancing them scientifically, religiously, and mathematically, and a foundation with Ma'at, these questions become more clear and they're able to have more accountability. So once we're able to take these concepts into being, we're able to come right back to where we started, was the concept of self-creation. Is the concept of self-creation. So once you heard this story, how much time do we have left on the show? What segment of the show are we in right now?
Yeah, we have to continue on because, a lot of people, I'm just reading a lot of comments, they're saying you're going back to religion. They're trying to get out of religion, and you're taking them right back into religion. That's what they're saying on the comments. They're saying you're talking about Set and Osiris and all this stuff. Okay, we understand.
No,
but we must understand this, okay? Whenever you're talking about Osiris and Set and Osiris,
Set, yes,
getting chopped up into 14 pieces and all that. This is all this is telling you is that Osiris, or the body of what they're called God, was been spread abroad the land. So now you must find the pieces to the puzzle. Okay? So now you're talking about self-creation. They didn't find the phallus, the sexual piece. So we have to find about self-creation. Now we're talking about leaving the body and going back into the egg. This is the creation part that must be understood. Okay? Pretty much.
All right. So what do we know? So all we know about this concept is that the first words in the Medu-neter in the science in the text, which is expressed in the Medu-neter, is Anuk F, which means I am he. Now, when you research this story, the only thing that you're going to get through artificial intelligence and Google is the Greeks theory, the Greeks Iliads, which are the Hellenistic paradigms in which the Greeks say that I am because I am. This is what the Greeks did when they took over the planet. They took the whole concept of self-creation and said, listen, I am because I am. He put his knife up to your throat, his genitals in your butt, and he molested you, and he killed you. Okay? Now in the Bible, you have the I am. All you're going to hear through all of your history that is corrupted through religion is on this story of I am. But I can take the story of I am from the Medu-neter text and break it down to you scientifically, religiously, and mathematically. I am not always going back into spirit, into religion, because I know everybody here today thinks our religion is spookism. That's why I'm trying to lay a foundation by using science and mathematics, by helping you to understand how to tell time, because you're going to have to find your way back. You're not going to find your way back if you're eating that food. If you're eating that food, you're never going to find your way. And if you eat that food, you're going to become what you have today. It's called injured humanity. You're going to be a casual killing. It's going to be a casual killing. Most of us are not going to make it. I'm here not to entertain you. I'm here to assist the Shemsu whores who have an eye to see, an ear to hear, and an understanding heart. Okay? I'm not here to save everybody.
Let me break that down for the people that's listening. You said the Shemsu whores, okay? Y'all know this as the chosen, okay? The Bible talks about the chosen ones. That's what he's talking about when he says the Shemsu whores, okay? That's or the enlightened ones in other religions, okay? So go ahead.
Yeah. Right.
But what I'm saying, Batar, people have to understand what you're saying. So
I understand. You're right. You're trying to give it, yeah. But every time you relate it to that Bible, I got nothing to do with that Bible. You want to talk about this? That's all they know. That's all they know. I understand that. And that's why I'm trying to understand, to let them know that we're trying to step beyond the door of European understanding. All we know is what the slave masters taught us. So what we know is the word of God. And as far as the word of God is supposed to be the gospel or whatever, but we know now that Jesus never even existed. Scientifically speaking, and using due diligence and being a scholar and doing a research, or just being any theologian.
Well, these are all stories. All of the religions, even the one you're talking about, they're all stories.
It's not story. Ours is not a story. Ours is not no fiction. Ours is written in stone. Listen to me, brother. Ours is tangible. Everything else is a myth. Ours is not no story. Ours is factual. You can go up to the wall and put your hand on it. Listen to me. I understand what you're saying, but go ahead. You're right. But what I'm saying is to you is that
all of these are stories for the growth of the soul.
Yes, absolutely.
That's all it's talking about.
Absolutely.
These are just stories. That's it.
It could be stories to you. It could be stories to anybody. I'm not here.
Just like you believe in your story, Christians believe Jesus was real. You know, all the other religions believe their God is real. Their Jesus is real. They all believe this, but this is just a foundation. Okay, a kid needs a foundation from their parent in order to move up.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So when your kid, when everybody who's listening,
nothing but a foundation. So all you do is laying a foundation for people, and
exactly.
They can
exactly. So we're back to the foundation for your children. So when your children wake up, they can receive the divine birthright instead of it being lost, stolen, and denied from you like it's been for the last 3,000 years. Okay, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about giving your child a chance. Because when your child was born under the lunar calendar, he was disconnected from the star of his birth or her birth. So we're talking about being subjugated and how can we achieve the greatness that is ours. And all I'm trying to do is lay a foundation in my heart for you by explaining basic elementary things that you teach your child when he grows up. You teach your child how to count 1, 2, 3, ABCs. You learn how to distinguish your colors, and you learn how to tell time. You write your name and call dial 911 if somebody bothers you. Okay? Now, here we are, grown men and women, and we don't even know how to tell time.
Well, people need to know how to find balance. Okay?
Yeah.
You're saying tell time. Okay?
Yeah.
In order to be on the right schedule that you're saying.
I'm saying temple discipline. I'm talking about primordial temple discipline, which includes a lot of things together collectively, scientific, religiously, mathematically, and it must be, and you must apply this daily. Absolutely. It's a training. Okay? It's not going to come overnight. You're not going to get it in one day. That's why it's called immortality.
Right. But the temple discipline only applies to those who are trying to have an understanding of what's really taking place esoterically or inwardly. Okay, these are all things that's being taught externally in order to have a better understanding of what's taking place internally. Okay, so people need to know how to get to that place internally. Okay, so what you're telling them is an external way to get what you really need.
No, I'm telling you externally and eternally. I'm telling you externally, eternally, and internally. The integer. There's always the three. I'm not just saying science. I'm not just saying religion. There's no science without religion, no religion without science. We need mathematics to equate it all within the all of all.
But that's still all that stuff is still external.
It's what? It's not external. No, it's not external.
All that is still external.
It's not external. How is it external?
External example, like the cosmos, what you see outside of you is an external example of what's taking place inside of you. Okay.
But what we're trying to do is, like the platform says, enlightenment.
Exactly.
To have enlightenment, you must be in tune. Now, when you woke up this morning and when you tuned in today, what is it that you wanted? Did you want a little peace? Do you want a little tranquility? You want a little serenity? Do you want some knowledge? Do you want some wisdom? Do you want cosmic awareness? Do you want universal enlightenment? Or do you want to seek immortality? There's a lot of levels that you want. I mean, what is it that you seek? What is it?
My focus personally is on showing people how to get to the next step, which is what you'll call immortality. Okay, so what I do is I show people how to get to the next step. Okay, giving them the knowledge that I've been shown within myself. Okay, by going through meditation and going through those steps. Okay, I don't have to do stuff religiously in order to get this stuff, but I understand what you're teaching. Okay, some people get it in certain ways. Some people might just eat fruit, and they'll have this experience. Okay, some people don't have to do that. Is what I'm saying. So these are just examples of what you're saying in order to get to a step within yourself. Okay, people need to understand how to get to the next step. They don't want to go back to a religion to do it.
That's it. It's not going to work. It's not going to work unless you can find yourself in tune with the cosmic forces that allow you love, guidance, and protection through the daily experience, it's a daily experience of ponderable matter.
The heart has to be ready. The soul has to be mature enough in order to get to that point.
But it's designed. It's designed.
Go through the stages. They have to.
But it's already designed that your heart is not going to develop. Your heart's already going to die. They already got your heart going to. You're going to have a heart attack at 20 years old. They got 30 years old people are dying. No, but the majority of the people. We're talking the majority of the people are dying. The majority of the people.
You just said everybody wasn't going to make it. You just said it.
Well, I know that. I mean, they're not going to make it, but I mean, there are some that are supposed to make it. I'm trying to reach them some. I'm trying to pull some of them out of there. Okay, I'm not here for everybody. I'm only here for those that have an eye to see and ear to hear and understand and heart. Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
Get them to remember.
Those to get to remember, not remember, to remember, because once you use the word ra again, listen to me. See, this is what ignites the enlightenment. This is called enlightenment. There's no enlightenment unless there's light. So what they did, they de-emphasized the words. And so I'm just saying to you, so if you say remember, you say remember, then that means beings. You have to relate to the light.
So you're telling me if I say remember, it's going to make a difference?
Of course it's going to make a difference. That's helping you remember. How are you going to remember? If you remember, you're back to being into humanity. What are you going to remember? When you came over on a slave ship, what are you going to remember? When they whipped you, what are you going to remember? You remember when they put a bullet in your head?
What you're saying remember is that this was already inside of them already. So what
was inside of you? What was inside of you? So when you say remember, you're under a Hellenistic paradigm of what was plagiarized and regurgitated and corrupted and fed back to you. But when you say Ra member, you're back to the cosmic forces that allow you love, guidance, and protection to the daily experience of ponderable matter. Now you're back with the entombment and the fabric of existence in the universe. This is called enlightenment. You can't be enlightenment until you see the light. Okay? The word light is in enlightenment. What kind of enlightenment aren't you getting?
Right.
Okay? Okay. So I just say Ra member. I say Ra member. I say not return.
Bring it back to your memory.
I say not return. I don't say return. I say,
I'm gonna take the re out. Go ahead, huh? I'm gonna take the re and Ra out. I'm just gonna say memory. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say repent. No, I'm just kidding.
Repent. Hey, yo, I love it. I love it when Kenshu gets a little personal. I like the chess game we play. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we all in it, you know.
Yeah.
But one thing.
And the Queen Mother goddess. I was sorry to leave you out of the conversation for so long, Queen Mother, but we got our little testosterone going on over here. But we apologize.
No, I think that you know, I heard you mention the food. We get back to the food again.
Yes, let's get back to the food.
It is a fact that majority, if not all, food has been genetically altered.
Absolutely. What do you think? Of course. Yes,
so hold on, let me finish my point.
Finish it. Yes, that's when we're going to get back to the food. Let's get to the food.
So we're understanding that we have GMOs within our food. The water we drink is not pure. It's not pure alkaline. We have to dance around that, you know. So we have to understand that at some point, even the food that we consume, even the food that we eat, whether we eat on a vegetarian diet, whether we eat on a eat McDonald's, Burger King, whatever you eat.
So what is
wait, let me finish my point. You gotta let me finish.
I'm sorry. I thought you were already done.
No, I apologize. So I'm trying to make a point.
Yes.
So here's what I'm trying to say. Okay, whatever food we eat, whatever water we drink, to everybody under Ra or the sun, is appointed a time to die. Absolutely. What you do between now and this experience,
you transition,
and you die, and when you die, is dependent upon your soul growth. So that gets back again to time, whether time is of Greek or time is of our ancient Kemetic ancestors. The fact of the matter is, everybody is appointed a time to die. And the only way that people can come into enlightenment, as you guys say, or come into an understand or overstanding of what's going on, or everyone is having these cosmic awakening experience, we cannot deny that. We cannot deny that people are beginning to wake up. It's all over the place, but it has nothing to do with the food. It has everything to do with the food. No, it has everything. There are people who are eating McDonald's, Burger King right now as we speak, they are enlightened and very aware of food and what they are.
They're enlightened, but they become injured humanity, meaning you're a victim. You're what you call a casual kill. They're going to call, what do they call that? Collateral damage. You're going to be collateral damage. Believe me, brother. Okay? All right? Now.
It all depends on how strong.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. We understand all that. But let's get back to what is the original livet of humankind, of a Shemsu Hor, of a true Shemsu Hor. All right. Back up, Shemsu.
The food was more pure back then.
It was very pure.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was more pure. They're
contaminating the food every day. But listen, let me just give the audience the 5 golden rules. Since we seem to have the understanding of what's going on here. There are 5 golden rules. There's only the first rule is eat only of the seed. If it doesn't have a seed, do not put it in your mouth. The only thing that you put in your mouth that doesn't have a seed is water. Rule number 1. Rule number 2, Never eat and drink at the same time. Do not mix your solids with your liquids. When you eat your solids, you must wait at least 45 minutes to an hour before you drink. Okay? Because you're creating an acidity brew in your stomach, which creates that bloating process, because the body has to digest the solids to the large intestine and the liquids into the small intestine to urinate. The other one is to decompose. And when you mix it, you create a bloat, and that's why everybody's blowing up. That's why you see everybody the way they are now. But anyways, that's rule number 2. There's only 5 simple rules. Rule number 3, eat as the table earth prepares the food, from the vine, from the tree, or from the ground. Rule number 4, never eat to your fill, meaning don't glut yourself, don't overeat. It's very unmarking of you. And rule number 5, fast occasionally for certain periods of the year. You must fast to detox, to cleanse, and to purify the body, or in accordance to the Ipetru, Shabitam Tuarupa Ma'at, those solstices and the equinoxes, and during the seasons, you should take time out to cleanse the body through fasting and meditation. Okay, very simple rules. Now, once they find out that you know these rules, and once they know that you know how to tell time, oh, believe me, the food is going to get more poor. You think Detroit water is going to be bad? Or you wait till the next level they got for us. Because once they find out that these Nagas know how to tell time, they're going to step up their extermination process. This is for real. They have an assault out on us that's been on for 3,000 years. An execution of sentence was inhumanity. Meaning if they seen us on any part of this planet, they had the right to condition us and to subjugate us, to burn you, to crucify you, to castrate you, to inflict the most excruciating pain upon you and they had an unbridled license to do this. An unbridled license, I thought that was a really slick word until I looked it up. Unbridled means it's unhindered, unprohibited. It means that if Jesus came out the sky and said stop, they wouldn't stop. There's no way that they can stop from killing you. Nothing can stop them from killing you. They have an unbridled license, a license to kill for 3,000 years. That's why when you see the police today, when they kill a black man, they always beat the case and become acquitted because it's the law. Every lawyer knows you can't convict the person because it's legal. It's legal to kill black people. If you don't believe me, just Google Casual Killing Act at 1669 AD, 1669 Virginia, and 1619 in New York City is the Casual Killing Act that's still in legal effect today. So all I'm saying to you is that every time that I'm only here to seek out those who have an eye to see, ear to hear, and understand how, because we just reached the galactic elliptic plane of our quadrant of the Milky Way galaxy, meaning the phenomenon of precession. We just completed 26,000 years. This is why you're saying that everybody is waking up, because we're in a position in our quadrant of the Milky Way galaxy that affords us this energy that is being pushed through the stratosphere by our solar system, through our stratosphere, through the earth, through the neutrinos. It's passing through us, and it's an awakening us. This is a time of the Ra awakening, or the awakening. And everything that we can do to help and assist those to open up to the spirituality that exists within them through understanding how to eat the living. Because the children are sick every day. The children's nose are running. The children are coughing. The children are kicked. They got more children in the hospital every day. Mothers got their children in the hospital. I got mothers crying and babies dying in a population of people that don't even know how to tell time. So we have come to a serious conjunction here.
Tata, let me ask you something.
Sure. I apologize. I'm all up on the camera and everything. I apologize.
We're into it, man. That's how you do it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Queen Mother. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's a few things I want to mention about the food. I like what you're saying about the food, because the food is giving us life and it's giving us energy, because it's also embedded with the earth's energy. But also, everybody needs to remember that we are so much more than our bodies. So reverence our temple, love our temple, and give it what it needs, what will nurture it and help it to flourish and help it to evolve, yes. But always remember, you're so much more than this body. The same thing with time. When you're talking about time, it's a wonderful thing for us to retrain and re-educate our children so the next generation will have the truth about time. But at the same time, they need to know that they are beyond time, that there's a piece of them that is timeless. But yes, it's time for all of them to know the truth about food, the truth about energy, the truth about time. It is time for that. And it is a good time that people are open and they're being awakened so that they will have an ear to hear that. But always know, and I remember, Orlando, you talked about Dr. Emoto several weeks ago. So his research is showing that we are parts of God, that we are divine, that our voices, that our sound and our frequencies can transform matter. So that's why I'm not overly concerned about anything that they do to the food. If within us is divine enough to transform the molecules and the energy of water, everything is full of water. The food, the fruit, the vegetables, they are infused with water. So if within us, if our words can transform matter, we can do a whole lot more than what we are appreciated for. So we need to believe that and meditate on that and remember that. Remember that. How about that?
I agree, and I just want to say
one second. I like to just say that that's why the black woman is a goddess. Okay, did you just hear the words that she just said? Now that was the balance of energy in the universe that just reverberated through all levels. I am so honored to have you on the show, and I received that with just everything I ever said on the show. I didn't even remember, but I remember what you just said right there.
I love you too. I love you too. But I just want everybody to remember that, because I think sometimes we get overly concerned about the planet being destroyed and all these other things. Just last week we had a woman on there that was a healer. So I wanted to remind her that if you are able to engage the energy of another person and bring it to balance and help heal their body, then you don't need to worry about food, because your body is telling you that you can transform matter, that you can actually engage with another being and bring them to balance and healing. So we don't need to be so concerned about the water and the food. We just need to replicate that power in another area. So let's not just delegate it to healing. Let's put it out there. Let's also reproduce it in other areas, because the gods are returning, because we are the gods. And so we need to make sure that we are manifesting that in so many areas. The same thing with the time. I want to learn all about the temple and the pyramids and all that, so I can teach my babies that. I have 3 of them. So I want to teach them the truth about time, but I want to tell them that you are so much more than that. Where you came from, the next place you're going, it may not even matter. It may not matter what calendar you use in your next journey. So you need to connect with that piece of you that's forever. The piece of you that's immortal, the piece of you that's forever. So I just wanted to share that piece. That's all.
That was awesome. And can I just say something real quick? Because I don't want to
I want to follow you now.
Yeah, I just want to clear something up real quick. When I first made the statement after the Elder Patah, we were talking about food, and we may not fully agree, here or there. That's the whole point of the Bridging the Gaps podcast. Let me be clear. When I talk about food, I'm not telling people to go out there and eat what they want to eat. Just eating gluttony, and because I definitely don't do that.
You brought McDonald's up, I jumped all over you, man.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I clear the air there. I noticed that, I was like, well, let me make sure he understands or understands.
Yeah, I missed that one. I missed it. It went over my head.
I'm not telling
all I heard was Mickey D's. You know what I mean?
I'm not telling people to go eat that particular food. I'm just saying, like the sister, the queen just said, the most important thing is understanding who and what you are, getting back to who and what you are as a divine being on this physical plane, being housed in these physical shells that are enslaving us to time currently.
Yes, which leads us back to what the Queen Mother was saying about that energy that is the common denominator or common benefactor within us all, within all existence, within all creatures, is the electron. This is what we're back to, is that electron. And that is what will continue on and on and on in different dimensions until as we expand, we're expanding as spark of energy through motion. It comes back to motion and energy and the electron. That is our common benefactor.
Yes.
Right, so everything
How much time we have left? How much time we have left?
We're about to end it. Everything was beautifully said. I appreciate it, man. But a lot of people are looking for a balance, and they're looking for what's really taking place behind it. You know, they've been fed religion, and religion is needed. You know, you need that foundation in order to build from. You need to understand what's taking place. And then,
what are they asking in the chat room right now? Well, how's the chat room responding? I don't see what's going on.
Well, I guess Facebook gives you a time limit on live. So
okay.
Put it off. But,
okay. All right.
Yeah, but I appreciate everything you said, man. Like I was
beautiful.
saying,
I'm happy to be here.
Religion is needed, but you must grow from that. It's just foundation for your soul. You know,
absolutely.
More and more and more growth.
Absolutely.
Once you find balance within yourself, you will be in heaven wherever you go. Heaven will follow you wherever you go. But once you have to find balance within, okay? It does not matter where you are in this world. It does not matter what time you're on, to be honest with you. But once you find balance within yourself, you have found heaven. Okay? Much love.
You love you too, man. Medu-neter, cool. Divine love to everyone here and everyone who's listening in. Divine blessings. I'm glad to be on this show. This is a great platform that you have. The Enlightenment and the Enlightenment for Today's show. I love the brother ascending. This is just a beautiful platform. I hope to be invited back onto your show again. I bring a couple of more people that can add to the growth. And I want to say thank you for your presence, Queen Mother Goddess Antoinette. And I appreciate the words that you expressed and brought balance. You brought balance to the show when you spoke. When you spoke your words of power, your Usa Medu-neter, your words, your Heka, it was like words from the divine. I appreciate everything.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate Symbion. I appreciate Antoinette coming on. Symbion, you got something to say?
Yeah, before we go, I think that next time you have an opportunity to come on, Brother PTAH, perhaps we can get into the discussion, because I hear a lot around the conscious community in different segments saying that the black woman is God, and some people don't necessarily agree. Some people say it's not. It's more of a like we're gods and goddesses. So it's kind of like speculation, but I don't want to go into it right now.
No, we're gonna break it down. We're gonna go into it very much here. But I like to definitely, because that's what the Queen Mother we was just talking about. We came from the mother. We're gonna return to the mother. That's we're gonna be on that conversation. But I'd like to give a shout out to the Nile Valley Scholars in House of Consciousness, Dwayne Taylor, Sarnetta, Brother Reggie, the Amen Ra Squad, and to the conscious community, Baba TV and Sankopa, Mefundishi, Samaj Patel, the High Priest, Beketi Amen, the Great Mother Goddess of the Medu-neter, and to all the brothers and peace, my brothers, I'd like to say, Panata Apupa Ma'at. How sweet is the truth of Ma'at and what not the rules. And then I like to say, Uben Nefe Ikea Panebu Heru Ma'at, which means rising always in divine excellence with Ma'at all day, every day. Onk was de je, onk uja seneb. Hotel.
Much love to everybody. Be enlightened. Y'all have a good night.